Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Zero Hour Square program. I have very special guests for you, Marty Friedman, who plays guitar on Megadeth, and Dave Ellefson, the bass player from Megadeth as well. Here they are on support of their Youthanasia tour in the North America tour. And this is it. This is Megadeth. I'd like to welcome you guys both to the show, to the Zero Hour Square show, and ask you guys how you're currently doing and just all that jazz.
We're doing all right. We just played our first show in Phoenix last night at the America West Arena, first show on this American tour, and it went really, really good. So we're hoping that tonight in Albuquerque will be just the same.
Ditto.
What he said.
What he said. Okay, cool. Now, like you said, this is the first or the second date of the tour. What are you guys' usual expectations going into a major tour right about now, and what kind of surprises could we possibly expect to see from Megadeth on this tour?
Well, first of all, we try not to set up too many expectations as it goes. I mean, the record has been out for about 2 months, and it's already sold over 1 million copies. Thank you very much. And the ticket sales for the tour have been very, very well, which is just a good indicator that the shows are going to do really well, and chances are everybody's going to be having a good time if last night is any indication, you know. And we haven't done a U.S. tour now for about a little over 1.5 years, and so it's good to be back out on the road, you know. And we're the kind of band that we're lucky that we can take as much time as we need to make a record, and our fans still hang with us, so that when we come back out after being off the road for a while, everybody's still there for us. So that's a good feeling for us.
Do you have any thoughts on that as well?
Yeah, I mean, this is the biggest show that we've ever taken out in America. You know, we've done a lot of different tours here and around the world, and with various different sets and shows, and so everybody who's seen us on the last tour is going to see something totally different. So it's not like we're just going to rehash an old stage that we used to have. It's all new. So it's exciting for us. You know, last night was the first time we tried a whole lot of different things that we've never done in concert before, and everything went pretty well. So tonight should be even smoother than that.
Now, one of the unique things about this tour also is the canned food drive that you're having for the homeless people. You want to elaborate a little bit on that? Tell us how that's doing and how and why that idea kind of came about and how it was incorporated into the show.
Well, we look at it like we're very lucky because we play guitar and we actually have a very good life as a result of doing that, you know, and things could be a whole lot worse off for us, and so we feel that it's a way for us to be able to give back a little bit. You know, we played through a lot of these cities like Albuquerque many times, and we have a pretty large following here, and when we presented the idea to our following about doing a food drive by giving them some passes that they could come back and hang with us after the show, everybody was very receptive. So I mean, we put the idea out there for the food drive, but really all the fans that are bringing the food, I mean, they're the ones that really get the credit for it. You know, they're the ones that are really going out and making the whole thing happen, and it's gone down really well so far. The cities that we're doing the food drive in every city on the tour, but so far the ones that have actually been announced and people have actually been able to bring the food in, I mean, the passes are just gobbled up in no time, and it's a great thing, you know. Well, it's just another way to bring everybody closer together, and you know, that's one thing in heavy metal and in rock and roll. It's like we don't need people divided. It's the whole idea is to bring people together. So it's a cool thing, I believe.
It's one of the examples of a kind of situation where we can get a lot of really positive work done with actually us using very little effort. You know, all we have to do is meet a couple people, shake some hands, and a lot of people get fed. I mean, we passed the limit of how many people we could, give passes to yesterday in Phoenix. We have a 200 people limit. The first 200 kids who bring food in get to come back, and those 200 were like gone in the first week. The tickets were on sale. So we got over a ton of food, and basically it was probably about 20 minutes work on our part, and if you want to call that work, you know, talking to our fans, I wouldn't consider work. That's more like fun, you know. So
that's great that you guys incorporate that kind of crowd participation. Also, that leads up to the next question that I would have for you, is that being that that you're able to convey these kind of messages and alert people out there. How does it feel after all these years being able to do that and basically get the respect that you so deserve finally now? Because a lot of times the press and the media kind of were taking Megadeth and picking you guys apart, basically. You want to tell us a little about that?
Well, I mean, a band name like Megadeth didn't win too many friends over in the early days, but You know, we always believe that there's a lot more to our music, lyrically and musically, than just judging a book by its cover. And I think that now, at this point, people look much beyond the band name, and through a lot of the interviews, and mostly through our songs, there's a lot more going on there that we talk about, you know, and that's hopefully being able to bring a good name to heavy metal and a good name to our following, you know. And I mean, we're just like our following. There's really no difference, except we're on stage and they're out there having a good time. And you know, I think that for a long time, people in heavy metal, the listeners have really gotten a bad rap. It's like their hair grows long and it grows over their brain and doesn't get any sunlight and it doesn't grow anymore, which, as we all know, is not true. So, you know, it's just another way that we can hopefully try to bring people together, you know. I mean, that's the whole thing about music, man. I mean, it's like we play music so we can all get together and have a great time, not like divide amongst everybody. So
thoughts on that as well. Now, as far as this album, the composition of the arrangements, everything, it's ultimate, man. You guys did an excellent job. My commendations to you guys. Always doing a great job. But this one takes you a little bit full circle in a different way. In respect to this record, what do you feel as far as where have you guys evolved and come full circle with it as far as lyrics? I might ask you for the lyrics, and you as far as the music goes, since joining with Rust in Peace. And kind of a two-part.
Well, musically, after being in the band with this lineup for 5 years plus, it's like, you know, everybody's strong points and weaknesses. You know, it's like being married. You learn the habits of who you're married to very quickly, and after a couple of years go by, you just know what everybody's going to do, and you know what everybody's good at and what everybody's not so good at. So by this time, we all know, you know, who should play what position, you know, and making an album is just like anything else. You just work on your strong points, and we know them a lot better now than we did. Rust in Peace was kind of a trial period. Countdown is when we really got some momentum going, and now it's like this is really the natural incarnation of the band.
Lyrically, this record is probably further away from the political arena. And I mean, we've never endorsed politics. We've talked about them, but we've never endorsed them. And I'd say the lyrics in this record are more about, they're much more personal, really, you know, more personal than political, I would say.
Yeah, I noticed that you got a little bit more in the inner psyche than kind of getting so much into the social, and which is kind of cool because it's a very relatable album. I notice a lot of songs are easily relatable in that sense. One song I would like to ask about is Elysian Fields. I know you helped Dave write that, Dave Mustaine also, and the French song, I still can't get that, Tout le monde. And you want to tell us a little bit about those songs in particular?
Well, Tout le monde we actually just shot a video for a couple of days ago, and that will be released as a single. And that video will be coming out the first part of February. And it seems to go down pretty good live. I mean, that was one of those songs where we took a bit of a chance on it, you know, because we've never ever had a song like that on any of our records. And so it seems to be fairly well received. And Elysian Fields is it's a place of bliss after death is what that means.
And how would you say Victory sums up the career? For those of you who are not familiar with the song Victory on the new album Youthanasia, it's got a lot of song titles all the way from the beginning, from Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. You want to tell us a little bit how about the approach to that song went lyrically as well?
I mean, lyrically, I think it pretty much explains itself. It's like our own autobiography that we wrote about the band, and I mean, musically, that thing came together. We were working on one song. It was the last song that we were going to record for the record, and we were just going over it and over and over, trying to rearrange it, and it just was not working. So we said, you know what, screw it. Remember that riff we had at rehearsal a month ago? And we were like, oh yeah. So we started jamming on that, and within a half hour, we had Victory down on tape. Dave came in the next day, threw some vocals down on it, and that's one of those songs where it's like you really feel the magic happen. Like Marty said, we played with each other long enough now that we know our strong points, and I mean that kind of stuff is a blast. And Peace Sells came together like that. I mean, literally, you know, Dave and I were driving to rehearsal, and he started talking. You know, what do you think about Peace Sells, but who's buying? He started writing some lyrics down, and I mean, within a day, that song was done. So once in a while, we get some material like that. It's just off the cuff and shooting from the hip, and it.
Okay, well, I'm being signaled real quick, like to make it done. Basically, two more quick questions. How did it feel to come on David Letterman? How was that experience? Basically?
Cold. It's freezing in there. He keeps the studio at 44 degrees. And imagine, I mean, that's like jamming outside. It's very hard. I remember my fingers were completely numb on both hands. I didn't know if I was holding a pick or not, you know. But he was a cool guy. He mentioned Megadeth about 12 times, you know, so that makes him pretty cool.
I also noticed Paul Schaefer playing harmonica with you guys. That was also pretty cool.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things on that on Letterman is that Paul and his band like to play with some of the artists. And fortunately for us, we needed a harmonica player anyway, so we're just like, when he came in and he asked us about it, we're like, hey, you play harmonica? And he's like, oh, yeah, and he ran out and grabbed a harmonica, so that actually worked out. That was a great experience. You know, doing TV is, again, you know, for a heavy metal band to do television shows, it's a fine line that we walk, that we, you know, can really hold our own and be Megadeth without having to compromise ourselves for the camera. But, you know, people like that, you know, Dave Letterman's an ally of ours now, so it's a good thing.
Cool. And the last thing I wanted to ask was, if put in a time capsule later on, what in one line would you like to be said about Megadeth, say 200 or 300 years from now, some alien or somebody picks it up, what would it be?
Wow, speaking of aliens, you'd have to talk to Nick about that one, I think. He's the alien man.
Nick, where are you? Nick.
What would it be? Anything?
Probably Nick would make that message. Probably like, I've been waiting for you. Where were you when I needed you?
Well, I'd like to thank you guys very much for appearing and giving me the opportunity to do this interview. This is Megadeth on the 0 Hour Square Show. Thank you, everybody out there, for viewing this, and that pretty much wraps it up for now. 0.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a local paper, man.
Right on. Want to do it, Marty? I'll start.
Okay.
Hi, I'm David Ellefson.
And I'm Marty Friedman. We are from Megadeth. This is the 0 Hour. Is that what it is?
Yeah.